Good evening, Hangout Gang. Crypto Crane here. It is time for your daily 5-minute crypto news wrap up. Let's get started. Crypto markets are attempting to stabilize after a violent sell off, but volatility remains elevated as prices break key levels. Major investors issue stark opposing warnings, and policymakers and institutions continue reshaping the industry. Here's what matters. First up, crypto stabilizes as U.S. shutdown ends. Crypto market pulls out of free fall after the U.S. government shutdown officially ended, easing immediate micro uncertainty. Bitcoin and Ethereum both rebounded modestly as risk assets across the board caught a relief bid. However, analysts caution this move reflects sentiment relief, not confirmation of a trend reversal. The shutdown's resolution removed fears of delayed economic data, frozen funding, and policy paralysis, all of which had pressured speculative assets, including crypto. All right, technical damage with Bitcoin breaks support. Despite the bounce, technical damage remains significant. Bitcoin broke below a key support level, reinforcing a broader downtrend. At the same time, XRP fell roughly 6%, underperforming the wider market. Traders now warn that momentum has turned decisively negative in the short term, with attention shifting to lower support zones unless buyers regain control quickly. Bitcoin rally. Bitcoin also tested the $73,000 level, effectively erasing all gains made since election night. That post-election rally had been driven by expectations of clearer crypto regulation and a more industry-friendly White House. The prior retracement underscores how fragile confidence has become amid tightening financial conditions and policy uncertainty. Next up, we have bulls versus bears. The divide between long-term bulls and near-term bears is growing sharper. Pantera Capital founder Dan Morehead says Bitcoin will massively outperform gold over the next decade, arguing that digital scarcity, institution adoption, and monetary debasement favor Bitcoin as a superior store of value. But on the other side, famed Big Short investor Michael Burry issued a stark warning, saying a deeper Bitcoin plunge could trigger up to $1 billion in forced selling across gold and silver markets as leveraged trades unwind. The message: conviction remains strong, but timing risk is extreme. Next up, markets are also watching Washington closely. Investors are focused on Washington's discussions around crypto regulation, including stablecoins and the so-called Clarity Act. Expectations of regulatory clarity following recent meetings initially boosted sentiment, but delays and mixed signals are now weighing on prices. Crypto-linked stocks have tracked Bitcoin's volatility, reflecting uncertainty over how quickly policy promises will translate into law. Meanwhile, Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin is reassessing the network's long-term technical direction. Buterin acknowledged that while Ethereum's base layer has advanced significantly, decentralization across layer 2 rollups is progressing far more slowly than expected. The comments signal a potential shift in priorities, with greater emphasis on strengthening Ethereum's core layer rather than relying as heavily on external scaling solutions. Next up, despite institutions keep building regulation, wallets, and tokenization. Despite market turbulence, institution adoption continues. Canada rolled out stricter crypto custody rules aimed at preventing another Quadriga CX-style collapse. Franklin Templeton executives say digital wallets will eventually hold the totality of people's assets, from stocks to bonds to crypto. Wisdom Tree says crypto is now a core business and nearing profitability, while MetaMask has integrated Ondo to offering roughly 200 tokenized U.S. stocks directly inside crypto wallets. Bottom line, volatility is dominating headlines. Technicals remain fragile, but long-term infrastructure and institutional commitment continue to expand. The next major move may depend less on charts and more on policy. More updates tomorrow. Tune in. And that'll be all for today's episode.